So you've done the self-help and you've dipped into some personal development, but now you ask the question, now what? What can you do? Well, if you want to escape the apathy, step right this way. So twice a year, I teach a course called AUTONOMY. It's a 12-week personal development and training course. What people get out of it is multifaceted. There's curriculum, there's exercises, there's camaraderie, you make new friends. There's a whole lot of interesting things. We're going to hear a sample from the course right now, and let's take a look at the value these students are getting.
I'm a season 5 student. I think most people probably know that by now. And then I think it was season 8 where I was invited to become a sort of what was then called the autonomy leader role. And I just said yes immediately. I thought it was a real honor and a privilege. And it was a real boost to my confidence and my self-esteem as well, to be invited to take part in that way. And the main responsibility was to run a mastermind group, which, as you mentioned, Mike, became a formalized part of the course in that season. And so we got together, all the people who were going to be running their own masterminds. We first ran ours as a group for a number of weeks in the lead up to the season starting. So we did a fair bit of prep, I think 4 or 5 weeks, or 6 maybe, before the season began, to get familiar with the ins and outs. And I'll never look back. I had such a good time. I had a wonderful group, and we shared and we grew, and we really became stronger as a group, but also individually through the care and the attention that we gave each other in those sessions. So one of the standout things to me was that actually I didn't really have that much to do as a leader or facilitator. It was really just about setting up the intention and letting people know what the format was that we were going to follow, making sure that people were given the chance to be on the hot seat and be included. And then it was then you just sort of step back and almost make yourself obsolete in a way. And I think this is a sort of a methodology that a lot of businesses and a lot of maybe entrepreneurs or people who provide services, they don't bake that in. Like, I often think if a product did its job really well, you should only have to buy it once, not every month or week or year for the rest of your life, right? And so as a leader, you really want to make yourself obsolete and not needed, and empower the group or the students to not need you anymore, you know. And I think Daryl Becker, he made sure this happened with his group really well. And so what we did to that end was after we'd all had a turn in the hot seat, then we started to rotate the facilitator role. And so I'd modeled what it was to be a facilitator, and then we just handed that off and let everyone have a try. And so by the end of the 12 weeks or so that we were together, everyone had a go at facilitating. They had participated in 12 rounds of masterminds. They'd sat in the hot seat twice, and were thus introduced and to the skills necessary to go off and make it their own and build on it, or build a new mastermind. And so that was a really great opportunity, and I especially enjoyed the way people opened up and shared what they were going through, and how graciously people would receive wisdom and suggestions and input. And I think lastly, the other thing that really blew me away was just the power of having a group of people all focused on helping you overcome something that you're struggling with. It's a real, because it doesn't happen that often, but for 1 hour, you have 5 minds with their expertise and knowledge and resources and life experience, all focused, trying to help you. And you kind of earn that because you do it for them when it's their turn. So it's a really synergistic type, you get what you give type of situation, and what you put out comes back to you. It's this kind of thing. And so it was extremely powerful experience for me. And then I kind of stood back from the role this season and decided to participate not as a facilitator in a mastermind, just to get some more experience of what it's like to be on both sides. And yeah, I continue to grow and continue to learn. And I would encourage anybody to seize on that opportunity if they feel it's something that interests them. And it also gives you that opportunity to practice the public speaking. You welcome people but in a smaller setting, it's a smaller group. And so the pressure is not quite as high as larger groups, but you get to set the expectations and welcome people into the group and watch the clock and keep people on track. And you learn ways of speaking to people that are respectful, but you might have to be gentle but firm. So you work on giving feedback and keeping things on track. And these are really, really important soft skills, I suppose, that you can take out into your work life or your home life or any other situation where you have to deal with people.
Everyone's doing some kind of self-help these days, and you can find a million self-help courses out there. Most other courses out there are hosting lectures. They're hosting videos, they're maybe even doing Q&As, and these are great starting points to encourage learning. But at AUTONOMY, we believe that hands-on practice is the best way to really lock in what we're learning. There's no better way to gain confidence and mastery than through action. After each lecture, we practice the concepts we've learned with other students, giving and receiving feedback in a non-judgmental environment. The result is mastery of concepts like entrepreneurship, ethical sales, and self-reliance in an environment that directly translates to the real world. Plus, you make connections with other like-minded individuals who are learning right alongside you, and you have a lifetime membership in the community. The AUTONOMY course with Richard Grove equips you with confidence, competence, and courage in a world filled with confusion and noise. You can learn more at getautonomy.info. We'll see you there.